Hey, good morning. What's going on, everybody? I am walking through the airport. I'm going through the airport in Chicago, and I'm trying to find my gate. and it's funny, I see gate B, but I don't see gate C. Anyway, you know what I was thinking about today? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Sorry, I see my relatives. When I see y'all in the streets, I got to say hi. And anyway, I was thinking about this topic of a high value man, and it came up yesterday because I was talking to somebody, and they were talking about high value. And I met a lady who's a very smart black woman. She went to MIT, and she met a quote unquote high value man who's now worth over $1 million right now. And she said it was like an absolute nightmare to be in a relationship with this man. She said once he got a lot of money, he got real arrogant and he became just kind of a jerk. Now, again, that's her side of the story, though. I personally think when people say, oh, well, somebody abused me or whatever, you know, I think that there's more to the story. Some people be claiming abuse, but really they were the aggressor, right? So I think it's kind of silly to take sides based on one side of the story. However, with one interesting thing that crossed my mind was, just this general idea of like, what is a high value man? And I shared a video this morning about my thoughts on that. And I from what I gathered was, especially like, with some of the manosphere, there was a talk about high value meaning men who make a lot of money, men who make six figures. And maybe I just see it different because I've made six figures ever since I got my first job, my first real job when I was 30. I made six figures for a long time. Then I made seven and all that. And one of the things about money is that money can trick you into thinking that people are something that they're not. It can make you think that this man is a good catch when really, you're called a toxic fish. You literally called a fish that's going to give you cancer, a fish that's got toxins and poisons in it and all that. And I think the same thing is true when men evaluate what they think is a high value woman. By the way, I'm going in this tunnel, so if I lose you, I'll just come right back. A lot of men, studies show this, that men, when they see a beautiful woman, they instantly think that beautiful woman has traits and qualities that she doesn't have. You impose that on her. You want to believe that she's going to be a good mother for your kids. You want to believe that she's going to be a loyal partner. You want to believe that she's this amazing person. But really, she just got a big booty, or she's got pretty hair, or the sex was good, right? So, one thing I would encourage people to understand is that when you're talking about investments, first of all, there's not many investments bigger than the investment you'll make in your life in terms of who you spend your life with, who you choose as your partner. That's like the ultimate business partner. If you don't know anything about it, marriage really is a business. Marriage really is it's a legal contract, right? So you are entering into an LLC with another person, except that it's not an LLC, but it's an LOVE, right? You're entering into an LOVE business, and if you do it wrong, it can really destroy so much of your wealth. By the way, I'm literally in this tunnel right now, so if I lose you, if you can't hear me, let me know, and I could just come out and I'll come right back in. But so I think that, again, I don't know how people define high value. I just want to make sure you never get caught into believing that high value just means he makes a lot of money, or he has status, or he's got a certain level of education, or he's famous. Because I just know so many men that make a lot of money who are like terrible people, right? Who will never commit to you, who will always cheat on you because they got so many women that think that they're high value even though they're not. And what I think can occur is that sometimes when you have that many options, people become disposable to you. Especially famous people. I know a lot of famous people, and people don't understand. Famous people are very spoiled. A lot of famous people are spoiled. So a person that's famous has to be very grounded to not let the fame and the power and the status, even a mega pastor, even some mega pastors get spoiled. A person that has power and fame has to be really grounded to not start to become delusional. Like I tell you guys sometimes about the time when I was on the phone for hours and hours with Kanye West. I stopped talking to Kanye because it was really hard. He's kind of an asshole, and he kind of thinks that he's the most important person on the planet. He thinks that because he's made this money and he's made these records, that everyone should kiss his ass. And I was like, I don't kiss the white man's ass, and I'm not kissing your ass. I was like, I don't need your money. I know how to make money. I don't need anything from you. You call me, what do you want? And it was like, it got to the point where I was like, he's talking to me like I work for him. I don't work for you. I don't care that those ugly ass shoes are selling to dumbass teenagers that don't know any better. Like, that means nothing to me. I'm another black man from Chicago, and I'm older than you. And if you're smart, you'll listen to me, because I'm probably smarter than you in certain areas. You're a musical genius. I'm a financial genius. I can help you financially, but respect is required. And so one of the reasons I don't even talk to celebrities a lot of times is because their world is so different from your world. Their world is very different from reality. People don't understand, and I'm bringing this up because sometimes people will want to be in a relationship with people like that, and you don't understand. When people are like famous, and like I'm a little famous. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I do go places and people know who I am. When you're kind of famous and known, people just do things for you. Like, everyone kisses your ass. People are honored to meet you. They think you're a wonderful guy just because they love your content, or they might love your sneakers. Sometimes is if a person isn't grounding themselves in some way, it can make them very arrogant. It can make them very, very arrogant toward other people, because for every person that leaves your life, there's always a new person that wants to get in it. For every person that won't say yes, there's somebody else that will. Because people will say yes because they're afraid of losing the relationship, and they really want to do everything to get in your good graces. And so I really just think generally people who evaluate a high value man based on how much money he has or status, I really think you end up losing the ability to have a quality interaction with a decent human being. You lose that ability to really, in many cases, not in every case. I'm not saying this is true of all of them. I'm not saying that at all. I don't want to overly generalize, even though I am a little bit. I admit that. It's really hard as a regular person to have a relationship with somebody who isn't living the life of a regular person. So what I would say to you is one aspect of high value that I encourage you to consider is whether or not somebody just really appreciates you. If somebody really appreciates and values you, then that to me is an incredibly important aspect of somebody being high quality or high value, right? So, why does that matter? Well, because that means that if I have a person that I'm sharing a relationship with, my wife, for example, it means she is just as concerned about losing me as I am of losing her. I'm not running around constantly trying to impress her and please her and make her happy and give her what she wants just so she won't go away, And sometimes if you are chasing, it takes self-esteem to really see things this way. I don't think people have appropriate self-esteem sometimes, right? Like if I see, if I'm a person who's dating and I believe that I'm only a worthy man if I've got a badass chick next to me, right? And I date the baddest woman I could be with, well, then I'm not really serving myself, right? I think that I have to also understand that I am a prize too, which means that part of the requirement to be in my life is that you must value me. You must respect me. You must show your value. Whether or not you're valuable is determined by whether or not you see me as valuable. If you don't see me as valuable, then you can't be valuable to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? You should never have a person in your life that you define as being high value who does not see you as having equivalent value. I hope that makes sense. And the reason I bring that point up is because there's a lot of people who maybe, I think because of self-esteem, maybe if you are a woman and your father never loved you the way that he should, I see women chasing men, they chase the men that don't want them. They say, oh, well, he's boring because he loves me too much. He likes me too much. He texts me good morning every day. He calls me queen. I don't like that. That's lame. He buys me stuff. I just say ask him for stuff and he does it for me. I think you got to go see a therapist and work on your self-esteem, because if all you want is the man who treats you like shit, then don't complain when you get abused. Don't complain when you get used up. Don't complain when you get mistreated, because you sought out the mistreatment. You're like, I like him because he's an asshole, right? And the thing about it is, and I've seen this so many times, I literally, I remember one time I had an ex, and I'm friends with her to this day, and we're cool. It's not an issue or anything. But I swear to God, I remember one time she was trying to, I guess, tell me how her new boyfriend was better than me. And you know what she said? She said, I know that when I get mad and out of pocket, you'll forgive me. But I know that with him, if I say certain things to him, he'll never speak to me again. And that makes me more attracted to him. And I was like, that makes you more attracted that he's an asshole? Like, so me being nice to you is a negative? I mean, think about this, and a lot of y'all know people that think this way. Men and women, it's not just women, right? Y'all know, a lot of you know people who think that way, right? So think about this, right? If you only like people who treat you poorly, then why the fuck are you leaving your relationship complaining that you were abused? Why are you complaining about abuse? You signed up for the abuse. You asked for the abuse. You wanted the abuse. That was sexy to you for a while, until it turned into cheating and whooping your ass and cussing you out at every available turn, snapping on you for no reason. You know, and the same thing is true on the flip side. You know, there's a book out. I kid you not. There's a book out. I think it's called like Men Love Bitches. Men Love Bitches. That's what the book's called. And and literally this lady's making the argument to women, which we know this is true for some guys who don't understand their worth. She said, if you're nice to men and you give men what they want, they're not going to value you. How many of y'all agree with that? How many of y'all see that to be true? That literally she was saying that there are men that will not appreciate you if you trying to be nice to him, trying to, you know, make love to him and cook him food and forgive him and treat him well. They want the bitch. They will chase the woman who plays hard to get, the one who isn't going to be nice to them, the one who ain't going to give them no good sex, the one who's not going to cook food for them, the one who's going to make sure he pays for everything. And then because something inside of us makes us want to chase that, right? And I really think that we chase bad relationships for the same reasons we chase the white man. We chase, like the same way we chase validation. It's all about seeking validation. You understand? Which connects to self-esteem and self-worth, right? So you chase validation from white folks, even though they treat you like shit. They don't do right by you. You feel like you're getting screwed left and right. All you do is complain about the abuse. Pay attention now. This is an analogy. I want you to get this. You complain all day about the abuse, yet you constantly seeking love and affection from them. What's the problem? Is the problem them? Yeah, the problem could be them, but the bigger problem is you. The big problem is you. The question becomes, when do you get off that train? When do you stop believing that whiteness is high value? You think that the rich white guy is a high value person to have in your life because he's got money and status and all these things that you need in order for you to feel validated. If you're black and you're valid in who you are, you don't need white validation. I don't need white people to acknowledge what I'm doing. I know that I'm good at what I do. I know that my work is impacting the world. I know that I'm I know that I'm expert level on financial topics and other issues. I don't need them to acknowledge me in order for me to feel that this is worthy. In fact, when white media starts paying a lot of attention to me, it gets on my nerves because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I know that they're going to paint me with some sort of Negro brush because they love the rappers, they love the comedians, they love the basketball and football players. They do not like intelligent black men. They do not like intelligent black men who know where the bodies are buried, who ain't gonna put up with your shit, who are smarter than you, who have a plan, who are not sitting in the victim box. They do not like that. So then they'll label you. Oh, he's toxic, he's this, he's that, he's racist. Right? I ain't racist. I ain't got nothing against white people. I don't have time to be mad at you for being white. You're not a threat to me unless you try to become a threat to me, in which case I'll become a threat to you because I'm gonna whoop your ass. So what I'm saying to you at the end of the day is, I think that we chase bad relationships for the same reason that we chase our bad relationship with white people. I really believe that. I think it comes back to self-worth. Self-worth. If you feel like you are the prize, if you feel like they're lucky, they should be lucky to have you, then you're not going to need to go chasing nothing. You're going to say, I'm going to sit right here. If you meet the standard, I might let you in. Seriously. It really, I don't feel like I have to convince white people that I'm good at what I do. I say, well, if you're white and you're smart enough to come learn from me, good for you. That means you understand where, where the money resides. You understand where the intelligence is. I'm proud of you for understanding the value of what I do. That I value you because you value me. I respect you because you respect me. I think you're smarter because you understand how smart I am, right? So the same thing I think should be true in relationships. I think that if you know your worth, you don't go chasing nothing. Like men, my advice in terms of men is, if you are working hard to be a decent man, if you out here hustling, kicking ass and taking names, making money, getting your intelligence, treating women right, women will chase you down. And in my opinion, you shouldn't be chasing nothing. You shouldn't be trying to beg nobody to let you in when they halfway don't want you around. That's a terrible trap to be caught in when you're constantly chasing somebody, because all they're going to do is keep setting the bar higher and higher and higher. You're going to give them everything. You're going to end up exhausted, and then they're going to pick somebody else anyway because they really didn't want you that much in the first place. You go where you are valued. Same thing for you women. I'm going to tell you like this. It's not politically correct for me to say this, but you are damaged by the fact that 76% of you did not even have the privilege of having a father in your house on a daily basis. People get mad at me for saying this, but I believe it to the core of my soul, because we know that having mothers was really important. If you didn't have your mother, you would feel very damaged by that. You would feel like that was a huge liability. Well, not having your father there to validate you and to love you and to tell you that you're special and to be the man in your life that will die for you, who doesn't need you to give him any sex, right? Every woman deserves to have at least one man in her life that would do anything for her, that ain't trying to get some ass, that ain't trying to get something from her. So by the fact that you don't have that, unfortunately for some of you, it shows up as you chasing raggedy ass men. Raggedy men that you think are high value because somebody told you that. Your dumbass girlfriends told you, girl, he high value cause he got money, girl. Look at that job he got. Look at that car he drive. And ain't talking nothing about his character. Ain't talking about nothing about his commitment. Ain't talking nothing about his decency as a human being. You're not even looking at how he treats his mama. You're not looking at how he treats his kids. Why in the world would a woman ever in a million years have sex with a man who don't take care of his children? And then get shocked when he don't take care of yours? Seriously, why in the world would any person in their right mind chase after a man who impresses you because he's such an asshole that you somehow think that makes him a good catch? You think ego and arrogance is gonna, you think that maybe because Beyonce made a song called Big Ego. I like a man with a big ego. Let me tell you about men that got big egos. Big ego people are people that feel like they're above everyone else. Big ego people feel like they're above you, and what they do is they stand over you, they look down on you, and then they ultimately shit on you. That's what big ego does. So there's nothing, and again, I can't explain everything about human biology, but I'm gonna tell you, there should be nothing appealing about a man with a big ego who acts like he don't halfway recognize you. You want to train yourself to love yourself enough to say, no, I don't want the man who barely responds to me, the man who's hard to get, the man who's treating me poorly. I'm going to chase after the guy who is chasing after me. I value you because you value me. The reason I value you because you value me is because I understand how valuable I am, and I respect the fact that you're smart enough to see that value. You want somebody that sees your value. It's just like if I have a diamond in my pocket. Let's say I have a diamond in my pocket that's worth $10 million, and I want to sell that diamond. If I take that shit to the pawn shop, that $10 million diamond is going to sell for about $200. It's gonna sell for $200. If I take it to Walmart or the swap meet, maybe I'll get $700 for it. Even if I take it to some of these jewelers, I might get a couple thousand. Why is that? Well, it's because they don't see the value. So the only place I should be selling that $10 million diamond is at some place where they really understand how rare that diamond is, where they not only have the ability to see the value, but they also have the capacity to pay. They can see the value, and they have the capacity to pay what that diamond is actually worth. They're financially available enough, just like somebody being emotionally available. They're financially available enough to pay the price, and they see the value. In that case, I'm going to get my $10 million. So you never take your diamonds to a place that cannot see the value. You must know your value. A lot of people They get junk, and then they say, you robbed me. My diamond was worth $10 million and you only paid $200 for it. Well, then why are you selling your diamond at the swap meet? Why are you selling your diamond at the pawn shop? Sometimes we ask for these things and then we get them, and then we act surprised when we receive exactly what we are seeking. So bottom line, point blank period, I'm gonna be done with this. I'm gonna go in here and do some work. Really think carefully about that term high value. It was used a lot, and I really think it was used inappropriately. And and I hated it. But when Kevin Samuels is around, I think people interpreted that I had an issue with him. I didn't want to have an issue with him. I didn't want to be out here trying to argue with him, because I like some of what he said. But some of this stuff about, like valuing women by their dress size or how old they are or whatever, I said this is kind of simple-minded, and maybe it works for some people. Maybe people who are not intelligent, just think that makes sense. I said no, but there should be 1,000 variables that go into how you choose who to spend your life with, and it starts with your self-worth. Do you know that you're worthy, or do you need to have some lady with a big booty attached to you for you to feel like you're the man? Or do you need a man who has a good job next to you for you to really feel like you succeeded? So just be thoughtful about this. Know your worth. That's the thing. So for you to understand whether or not somebody else is high value, you first must determine that you're high value and that you're doing things to make yourself even more high value, and then rewarding those who recognize that value by making that value available to them. Don't sell yourself cheap. That's my Uncle Boyce advice today. I hope it's okay for me to share this. That's all I gotta say. All right, guys. So anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. Hit the I would say hit the thumbs up button, but ain't no thumbs up button. But anyway, just a reminder: if you hit the link in the bio, there's stuff in my bio. There's a training on how to make money without working. My book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, is there. Pretty soon, I'm going to be doing events I'm going to be at the Juneteenth event at the Centennial Park in Atlanta this weekend, promoting our new movie called B1 the Movie. Akila Nihonda's in it. I just saw Akila. God, I love you, sister. God bless you. Also, I'm going to be in Seattle July 8th. And then I'm going to fit in Brooklyn and Los Angeles very, very soon. So just keep an eye out. And you can go to my website, boycewatkins.com, to find out whatever we got going on. I'll see y'all later. And remember, you are worthy. You are worth it. So never let anybody make you forget that. You don't need those people. All you need is yourself. You need God, and you got love from your mama. You can conquer the world with those three things. Talk to you soon. Peace.